The Raptors. The Raptors lose another game. And I don't want to say this is because of Siakam playing because we're 0-5 with Siakam in the starting lineup, but we lose another game against the Jazz. I just want to start off positive with Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent. Fred VanVleet, another good game. He was great, active defensively. He was assisting. He was just doing all the little things. Gary Trent, man, he kept us in that game. He was our only source. Him and Fred were our only source of offense. And Khem also. He played really well. Screen and roll action, the little floater he had. Rudy Gobert, and Hassan Whiteside were cut in two places, so he always had that, and he was making them today. But then you come to the bad. Siakam, man, 2 for 14. Yes, he's still getting acclimated, but he's had like 5 games now, and this was just a bad game. And Siakam has these bad games against teams that have rim protection, and he had 4 turnovers. Like, one thing about the Raptors is we don't turn the ball over often. But since, Siakam came, he does do some dumb passes and dumb turnovers. And so Scotty Barnes, he wasn't as aggressive as I liked. And when he was aggressive, he did that weird layup thing that he does where he just makes uses his wingspan, but no touch. Most of the time it hits the front of the rim. If you watch the game, you understand what I'm talking about. He wasn't as assertive as I would have liked, especially against the Utah Jazz, who have slow wing players. But again, when you have Rudy Gobert and Hassan Whiteside, great rim protection, it's hard for you to make your move. And that's another thing that we couldn't do. We couldn't guard Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert was having anything he wanted because he had so much gravity because what Nick Nurse did, because we were lacking in big men, and we still do. We need a big man, honestly. We need a big man. And I'm trying to think of anything we could have done. Of course, OG was gone, OG Anunoby, but still, I'm trying to think of what we can do to get a big man. What big man would fit our team? Because against a team like Rudy Gobert, 14 and 11, he went perfect. And there was shots, he passed it out, and it was a swing, and an easy shot. Bogdanovich didn't even play good, but Royce O'Neal hitting 4 threes. Donovan Mitchell, it's Donovan Mitchell. Mike Conley didn't even play that well, but their bench. I mean, Rudy Gay came in and gave us 20. Clarkson gave us 12, and they were just hitting crazy shots. Whiteside 11. We had no big man. I mean, Boucher's our backup big for this game. I mean, what do you expect? And Joe Ingles, almost a triple double from the bench. Like, everyone was clicking for them. They shot 41% for 3, and they almost shot 53s. They couldn't miss. They could not miss. And it all unlocked in that third quarter. That third quarter, we started missing. We weren't getting any good offense. And the Jazz were just cooking on all cylinders. Everyone was giving us buckets. Turnaround fadeaways. Oh, cash. Pass, cash. And yes, I don't know if that defensive strategy was that good on Nick Nurse. But when you're lacking big men, especially when Khem is your starting big man, and I don't like Siakam as a center, honestly. It's hard to contain Whiteside and Rudy Gobert, and when you even try to double team or foul them, they actually kick it out. There was too much dribble penetration into the rim, into the paint. It was too much. Like, it was too easy. Joe Ingles destroyed us. If you screen and roll, he was just cooking. And the Raptors, we had no bench play. Malachi Flynn came in. He couldn't get his shots to fall. Sri Mikhailuk couldn't get his shots to fall. Banton gave us a little bit of energy in the first half. Second half, non-existent. His minutes were kind of sporadic, but I mean, we needed offense. Banton's an energy player. He's not automatic offense. Fred VanVleet, of course, he was our steady ship, and Gary Trent. But Siakam, man, this is our 5th game that we're losing with Siakam in the starting lineup. And the problem is that when Siakam's in the lineup, Scotty Barnes can't be Scotty Barnes. And when Scotty Barnes can't be Scotty Barnes, he looks more like a rookie out there. Because, he has to pick his spots, pick when he shoots, pick when he's supposed to drive. Because, he has to be in the flow of the offense. That's what happens when you're Scotty Barnes and you're playing with Siakam. Siakam was shot 14 times and only made 2 shots, man. He didn't hit any of his threes. and his 3 point making ability isn't going to improve. I don't think so from last year because of his injury. He didn't get a chance to practice his three, and Siakam's someone that needs to practice. He needs to improve his bag. And from an interview, he said that was the first time he cried because he knew he had so much things to get to work on. And I'm looking at him, I'm just like, against the good teams, he's everyone knows what he does. Everyone knows what he does. And when there's rim protection, it's hard for Siakam to really do his thing. Like if OG Anunoby was in this star lineup, I don't see us winning either. I don't see us winning because Siakam against that rim protection and Royce O'Neal, like when he's going up against a good defender like a Jaylen Brown, Royce O'Neal, um, even a Grant Williams or something like that, he has trouble. He has trouble with mobile wings. Robert Covington, Jaden McDaniels, like these are all players that Siakam struggles with because he doesn't. We don't trust his mid range or his three ball that much. And I think he should shoot more mid ranges. Like Scotty Barnes, he scores much more easier than Siakam. Why? Because he implements that mid range game more often. He doesn't have to force anything. And 4 turnovers is just not good, man. And every time I look at Siakam play, I'm just like, he is not the star we need. He is not the player we need. We have Scotty Barnes. We need to do something. We need to do something big because when our starting lineup is full strength, it's not even our best lineup. I think Ken Birch is on the floor with Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent is the most beneficial lineup for us. Scotty Barnes is too, but I don't see Siakam as our future star. Honestly, I really like OG Anunoby more than Siakam because Siakam. The problem is when he's trying to score, it takes too long, takes too many dribbles, and he doesn't attract the same gravity he once did. Because when there's a help defender, he can't always dish it out. Sometimes he's too wild with it and he just runs near the byline or the baseline and turns the ball over. His offense is just not ideal. And for Siakam to really flourish, he needs to be the only one that's going in the paint. He needs to have a stretch. He needs to have 5 out, but we don't have that. So when we're doing screen and roll and Siakam's on the elbow or the block, and he has his ISO, and um he's trying to take advantage of it, it's just not going anywhere. It's just not. And when you have Scotty Barnes, the spacing is not the best. Spacing is not the best. It's just not ideal. It's disappointing because now we're 7-9, and now we're coming into reality of what the Raptors team really is. Because ever since Siakam came in, we just haven't been good. Oh, I don't know what that's supposed to say because I don't want to jump into conclusion, but it doesn't look like the Raptors are that good with Siakam on the floor. And Siakam it's like we can't look to the future with someone like Siakam because he's not really a leader. Fred is going to be our leader, and I think he solidifies himself as someone that's capable of doing that. But Siakam he's not the guy. He's a number 2. He's not a number 1. It pains me to say this, but he's not looking like he's going to be in our future plans, honestly. But we appreciate Siakam. We appreciate what he did, but the way this is looking, he doesn't look like he can fit this team. If you like the video, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and peace.